Thank you. Now, to commence proceedings, let me introduce the company. CreditAccess Grameen are a leading Indian microfinance institution headquartered in Bangalore, focused on providing microloans to women customers predominantly in rural areas in India. According to CRISIL research, they were the third largest NBFC MFI in India in terms of gross loan portfolio. Their wide range of lending products addresses the critical needs of their customers throughout their life cycle and includes income generation, family welfare, home improvement, and emergency loans. They believe that their customer-centric business model, wide range of product offerings, as well as their well-designed product delivery and collection systems have enabled them to achieve high customer retention rates and low credit costs. To tell us more about the company and its achievements, we have with us here today a glittering array of dignitaries from the company who are stalwarts in their respective fields. We also have luminaries from the world of investment banking and capital markets, and it is now my pleasure to invite them all to the dais. We'll start with Mr. M.N. Gopinath, Chairman, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd. Mr. Paolo Brichetti, Director, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd. Mr. Uday Kumar, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd. Mr. Diwakar BR, Chief Financial Officer, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd. Mr. Ajay Saraf, ICICI Securities Limited. Mr. Subhajit Roy, Kotak Mahindra Capital Company Limited. Mr. Sumit Jalan, Credit Suisse Securities India Private Limited. Mr. Nipun Goel, IIFL Holdings Limited. And of course, Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO, BSE Limited. And now, to mark an auspicious beginning, I'd like to request all our dignitaries at the dais to please come forward to light the ceremonial lamp. And I'd also like to invite Mrs. Vinata Reddy, an original founder of Grameen Kuta, to join in. Thank you. And now let me invite Mr. Ajay Saraf from ICICI Securities to make the opening remarks. Mr. Ajay Saraf.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of CreditAccess Grameen, I welcome you all to what is a very important day in the corporate journey of the company. After months of hard work, we're delighted that CreditAccess Grameen will be listed in stock exchange today. So on the dais, and been introduced just to kind of introduce the dignitaries on the dais. Mr. Gopinath, Chairman of the board, Paolo, founder, independent executive director, and the promoter of the CreditAccess Grameen. It's on CreditAccess Asia, Mr. Udaya, former colleague at ICICI, and now MD and CEO of CreditAccess Grameen, Mr. Diwakar, CFO CreditAccess Grameen, Mr. Ashish Chauhan. Everybody knows who Ashish is. And my friends from investment banking fraternity, from Nipun, Sumit, and Subrajit. Despite significant market volatility over the last few months, we are pleased that investor response for CreditAccess Grameen has been very pleasing. We had oversubscription over 2 times, and particularly QIB was oversubscribed by 5.5 times. So on behalf of the company, my investment banking colleagues, I express my sincere thanks to investors for their trust on CreditAccess Grameen. It's indeed a great time for public market listing of a pure play NBFC MFI. The imminent merger of the current largest listed NBFC MFI with a private sector bank will make CreditAccess Grameen the largest NBFC MFI in terms of market capitalization. This leadership, combined with AUM of approximately 5,000 crore, strong growth and best-in-class metrics across key parameters, makes CreditAccess Grameen a very attractive investment opportunity for the public market investors. I think with a focus on women borrowers and approximately 87 of the company total loans being towards income-generating activities, CreditAccess Grameen also plays an important role in catalyzing social and economic growth in the rural parts of the country. We are confident as CreditAccess Grameen will create and it's embarks on the journey to create significant value for its new shareholders. We wish all the best to the company and the management. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now invite Mr. M.N. Gopinath, Chairman, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd, to address the gathering. Mr. M.N. Gopinath.
Good morning, everybody. This really is a moment of glory for the company and a great development in the evolution of the company. There are many who aspire to reach this stage, but very few do. And I am so happy that the Grameen Kuta team has achieved what you set out to achieve. And for this glorious success, I have to pay tribute to a few people. The first one is the mother who gave birth to Grameen Kuta, grew it up, and then let it fly, Mrs. Vinata Reddy. Supporting her, Mr. Suresh, the two of them, from very humble beginnings, with just 2 people and a few thousand rupees, they toiled hard to make it to grow it, to evolve it into an NBFC, and finally gave Mr. Paulo the opportunity to bring in any amount of capital, as he said, and he has brought in more than 1,500 crores of capital, which enabled Mr. Uday Kumar to grow the company to a respectable size. So from the 2-member team, today it is 6,000-member team, helping more than 2 million households. So what better statement can be there to underline the glorious achievement of the company. And this moment of the public issue itself, I should give credit to the team led by Divaka. They toiled very, very hard, and of course the other merchant bankers and all the other. The number of people involved in the whole process over the last 9 months is too many for me to take all their names. So I congratulate all of you in this achievement. Now, what I would like to mention, 2-3 things, is when I joined the Grameen Kuta board 3 years ago at the invitation of Uday, because I trusted him as a dependable MD. But I was pleasantly surprised once I joined how professional the company was and how professional the board was. I never expected it to be so. It was far more professional than many other bigger companies with which I had been associated in the past. And that tradition of professionalism continues. And I can assure the investors, and no wonder that the institutional investors have found fit to support the company with an oversubscription of some 5 times. And that is what makes me proud that the institutional investors who have the wherewithal and the capacity to assess the strength of a company have come in hordes and supported us with abandon. And that gives all of us the right to be proud of the company. And let us continue this tradition of professionalism in the company. And as far as the board is concerned, that too, I would say the independent directors I found were really independent. They had their mind of their own. They never hesitated to speak, and they were encouraged to speak. And Mr. Paulo, having brought in all this money, continues to encourage us to be independent. And he, again, is a very professional investor in the sense he is hands-off. He lets the board he lets the board have the independence that it deserves and it must have, and the management to function without any interference. He is just another director. That's about it. And a very balanced investor, a very balanced person. No wonder he succeeded. And it is, I was telling him, the first moment of glory for his CreditAccess Asia, because he has toiled hard to build this business. Now, so many more glorious moments will follow Mr. Paulo. So, and I must, on behalf of the board, assure the investors, the minority investors, because he continues to be 80%, that their interests will be taken care of by the board, and that is our responsibility. And I have also mentioned to Mr. Paulo that our responsibility to the minority investors will be taken very seriously by us, and we will be taking care of that. And but for the large team of our people, the 6,000 strong team, whom Mrs. Reddy brought up as a family, this wouldn't have been possible. And why I wanted to mention is that family tradition continues. They belong to this group, the company. They are not employees as such. And it is that sense of belonging and oneness that has enabled the company to overcome crisis after crisis. And we always came out faster than any other company in the industry in managing this crisis. So it is the employees deserve all credit, and employees deserve all congratulations for continuing to feel that they belong and they are part of a family and helping the company to weather all storms. Storms will continue, nature. But it's the people who have to take it on their shoulders and move forward, march forward, and they are certainly doing it. And I'm sure that all and of course the customers. The customers, the interest of the customers. Actually I should mention, the driving force or a driving sentiment behind the formation of the company by Mrs. Reddy was compassion. She felt that she should do something for the poor people around her house, and that spirit of compassion continues in the company. And that has been translated into the day-to-day operations of the company in terms of customer orientation. It is not just products after products which would make money for the company, but the products are so adjusted and so modified and continuously evolving to suit the needs of the customer, and in a crisis, they are again tweaked to support them. So this customer orientation has enabled the company to gain the trust of the customers, and along with the family of employees, it is the trust of the customers that enables the company to succeed, notwithstanding what happens in the environment. So I have to appreciate and congratulate everybody, including all the stakeholders. And as chairman of the board, I would like to assure again all the stakeholders. We work not only for the investor. All the stakeholders deserve to be protected, deserve to be rewarded, and that will happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Paolo Brichetti, Director, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd, to address the gathering. Mr. Paolo Brichetti.
Good morning, everyone. Of course, proud and privileged to be here and with all of you to celebrate the listing of CreditAccess Grameen. Of course, it's a very significant step for CreditAccess Group family. It's something like, something that happens every 10 years or so. It's a very relevant, mark. CreditAccess Asia, the promoter of the company, started 10 years ago with the vision to evolve as a leading regional group in micro and retail finance across India and Southeast Asia. Today, we operate in India, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, serving 2.7 million customers, 10,000 employees, really committed to grow the company and provide financial services across the region. So, as you know, microfinance started in the 70s. We all are, inspired by the founder of Grameen Bank, Muhammad Yunus, that eventually got also, rewarded with the Nobel Prize. And this model spread in 100 countries. So it's a very solid business model, giving an opportunity to people, to poor people, to get access, a fair access to credit. But among these, 100 countries where this model has been developed, India for sure is the country where this model can work absolutely well. I mean, India seems to be the perfect country for microfinance. Because of the culture, the behavior of people, the environment, the hard work, and the professional support of all the stakeholders. Reserve Bank of India did a wonderful job to make this industry growing well in this country. All of that make India the perfect country for microfinance. And this has enabled an industry to flourish. Today there are more than 160 operators in the country, microfinance institutions, small finance bank, correspondent banking, models, self-help group, different players, but all applying microfinance methodologies to better serve the clients. Today, more than 32 million clients, growing at 42% per year. So an incredible story for India, an incredible ability to apply business for good, business for development. This is something quite unique. And within this environment, within this industry, CreditAccess Grameen has been always leading in terms of model, ethics, financial indicators. This has been great across, steadily in 15 years. Has always been a reference point for the industry, not only in India, also abroad. So this is, so remarkable. And I think that as in any company, is all about the people behind the company. I mean, this can be achieved when there is an extraordinary team behind the company. And so that's, again, starting from Vinata Reddy, Suresh, Krishna, and then all the management team, a stable professional management team led by Udaya Kumar, Divakar, that make this possible. All, and I'm so happy to see the management here because it's all for them. I mean, we are here because they work every day hard because, Udaya, Divakar, they are in the field every day. We discussed it yesterday night with Udaya and say, look, I have to be there every week in the field because only from there you understand the future of this business. Yes, I mean, and irrespective of how big the company will be, the spirit will be there, looking at client, talking with them, understanding what they want, and design the company to better serve them. So let's go on with this spirit. This is just a great step, but we have many more to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now call upon the man of the moment, Mr. Uday Kumar, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd, to address the gathering. Mr. Uday Kumar.
Good morning, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of CreditAccess Grameen family, I extend a warm welcome to all of you for what it is truly a memorable and proud moment for all of us, not only for the company, but for the entire microfinance industry. The listing ceremony of our company shares on the stock exchanges being held in the August portal of BSE and in front of August gathering here is a momentous occasion for us. CreditAccess Grameen is a leading microfinance company. It's a pure play focused on rural women and who have a lack of access for the formal finance in this country. Our products are created, our products are built with the deep understanding of the requirement of our customers, and we keep on creating a unique delivery mechanism which enabled us to have a very high customer retention with us. Considering the huge opportunity in the financial inclusion space, particularly in rural India, we kept on expanding our business in rural India, and we will continue to do so. As of March, we have 516 branches, more than 6,300 employees, more than 2.2 million customers. We are operating in 132 districts in 8 states and 1 union territory. We had a portfolio of 4,975 crores, which has grown about 57% CAGR in the last 4 years. CreditAccess Grameen has a track record of a wonderful financial performance, consistently delivering in terms of profitability, growth, and asset quality. Today, the company is positioned as one of the best efficient company in terms of its financial parameters. It's a lower operating cost, lower cost to income, and different financial ratios. And that is the story of CreditAccess Grameen. This IPO will open a new challenges, new chapter to our real estate history, and a new challenges and new responsibility for us. We are committed to deliver continuously, committed to enhance the value for our stakeholders and shareholders, and committed to uphold the high standards of corporate governance. Of course, we commit to deliver the best performance benchmarks, and which is the DNA of our professional management team. We seek your support, cooperation, and guidance in this journey. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Let me now call upon Mr. Diwakar BR, Chief Financial Officer, CreditAccess Grameen Ltd, to address the gathering. Mr. Diwakar BR.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has played a role in the success of CreditAccess Grameen Ltd and its IPO. The list starts with the regulator, the registrar of companies, the stock exchanges, the BRLMs, namely ICICI Securities, Credit Suisse, IFL, Kotak Mahindra Capital Company. The investors, customers, legal counsels, auditors, various influencers, our partner agencies, and last but not the least, all our employees, 6,000 strong, out and running. This day is your success and is a culmination of all the efforts put in over the last many months. This is a historic day indeed. As we welcome new shareholders to CreditAccess Grameen, our responsibility and commitment to our goals, vision, and mission will only increase. Our entire team will strive to enhance shareholder and stakeholder value while upholding corporate governance norms. We have a continued focus on customers from rural areas. Our diversification strategy is driven by the evolving needs of customers, and we believe this is the line with and the customer-centric model which we take, and our expansion strategy as it allows our customers to have access to various differentiated products and services which they need quickly and efficiently. We continue our focus on optimizing operating costs and improving operational efficiencies. Controlling our operating expenses is critical in determining our ability to offer loan products at reasonable rates to our customers and our profitability. According to CRISIL research, we had the lowest operating expense among the top 8 NBFC MFIs and SFPs for the year ended March 31, 2017. Our company has amongst the highest ROA and ROE in the industry. We shall persevere to strengthen the key operational parameters and financial ratios. We look forward to continuous guidance and support and counsel from our board, the promoters, and all of you. Thank you all. All the best and a good day.
Thank you. And now I'd like to call upon Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO, BSE, to deliver his address. Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan.
Mr. Gopinath, Mr. Uday Kumar, Mr. Paolo, Mr. Devakar, Mr. Nipun Goyal, Mr. Subhrajit Roy, Mr. Ajay Saraf, other dignitaries on dais, off the dais. First, I would like all of you to give a standing ovation to Ms. Vinita Reddy. She is a role model, and I think she deserves to be sort of appreciated we have young students sitting here, ma'am, and they would certainly take home that in India, ladies can also set up such large companies, coming almost to $1 billion market cap. So thank you very much for setting up this company, helping people. The time is very little, so I would cut short my speech, but it is New India. For me, this is a great beginning for Grameen Kuta and also CreditAccess Grameen for coming out with IPO, because India cannot continue to run on older companies. It also has to bring in newer and newer companies, and that's where I think this is a brilliant addition to BSE's 5,000 plus companies. BSE has been there for 143 years. It accounts for almost $2.5 trillion of India's wealth, which is almost 1/3 of India's wealth. And this is what is adding to India's wealth. So thank you very much for coming here, and all my best wishes. Thank you very much.
We're now just a few minutes before 10 o'clock, which is when the opening bell, symbolic opening bell, will be rung. And so I'd like to request everyone to please make their way to the gong. I'd like to request the audience to please stay seated, even though it's very tempting to stand and take photos, because the videographers in the back need an unrestricted view of the ceremony, please. And when we get to 10 o'clock, there'll be a 10-second countdown, and I'd love if you all join us in the countdown. We'll be continuing the rest of our speeches and mementos after the bell ringing ceremony. It's such a proud occasion for the company to be listed on BSE, and we're delighted you could be here for this occasion. Again, join me when we get to 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations! CreditAccess Grameen is now officially listed on BSE. Thank you. We all love the gong. Once again, heartiest congratulations on the listing of CreditAccess Grameen on BSE. We'll now continue with proceedings, and in fact, to commemorate the significance of this event, we have an exchange of mementos. So I'd like to request Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan to please remain standing to present mementos to our esteemed dignitaries on the dais. We'll begin with Mr. M.N. Gopinath and Mr. Uday Kumar. Mr. Paolo Brichetti. Mr. Diwakar BR. Mr. Ajay Saraf. Mr. Subhrajit Roy. Mr. Jalan. And Mr. Nipun Goel. Next, Mr. M.N. Gopinath and Mr. Uday Kumar will present special mementos to our dignitaries at the dais, as well as to several esteemed individuals and organizations whose contributions have been invaluable to making today possible. Let's begin with Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan. Mr. Ajay Saraf. Mr. Subhrajit Roy. Mr. Sumit Jalan. Mr. Nipun Goel. Mr. Abhijit Chiripal from Spark Capital. A representative from Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, legal counsel to the company. A representative from Luthra and Luthra legal counsel to the company. A representative from International Legal Counsel, Clifford Chance. Mr. V. Subramanian from Ad Factors Advertising and PR. A representative from the registrars to the issue, Carvey Computershare Private Limited. A representative from the auditors to the company, S.R. Batley-Boy and Company. A representative from Crystal, the printers to the issue. All right, thank you everyone. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Sumit Jalan from Credit Suisse Securities to address the gathering. Mr. Sumit Jalan.
Morning everyone. And once again, hearty congratulations to the entire team from Grameen Kuta, CreditAccess, and my fellow investment banking firm. it is one of those rare moments in the career of an investment banker that you end up doing an IPO as well as raising capital for companies which have such social impact. I'd done it long back, almost 8 or 9 years back for SKS Microfinance, and that was the first time ever a microfinance company in Indian context was listed. And one could see the on-ground impact when it came to the subsequent on-lending on ground to the rural community as well as the unpenetrated Indian borrowers. And I see that moment. And when we first met with Paulo and team, this is exactly what we saw, that the ethical standard, the corporate governance standards, the moral fiber of the organization was of a level which was pretty much in our professional careers not seen that often, and with the kind of social impact which we just spoke of. So I think what Paulo had communicated to Uday when he came on board was don't worry about capital at all, just go out and lend and create the impact. I think from banking community and from Credit Suisse perspective, that's a commitment we have that please go out and build the organization. We have started this journey, and as much capital as is needed, the capital market investors or otherwise will ensure we all are there for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now invite Mr. Nipun Goel from IIFL Holdings Limited to address the gathering. Mr. Nipun Goel.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. Clearly, it's a momentous day in the life cycle of the company. I'm reasonably confident that, consistent with how the company has impacted the lives of millions of customers, the shareholders of Grameen Kuta would be rewarded in the long term. Wish you all the best, sir, as you embark on this new journey, and all the best for your future growth endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Mr. Subhrajit Roy, Kotak Mahindra Capital Company Limited, to propose the vote of thanks. Mr. Subhrajit Roy.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to congratulate the company. It has been an interesting journey in probably one of the most volatile times we have seen in the recent past on primary markets. So the company stuck through thick and thin under the guidance of Paulo, Uday, Divakar, and the entire management team. And I think what we have come today is a culmination of all those efforts to excellent listing. Thanks again for giving us the opportunity to work on the IPO. We believe it's the beginning of a long-term relationship, and keep doing good as you have been while combining with good business too. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations to the company. I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead, and do join us for breakfast. Thank you.